Good morning, everyone. This is a video that I hope will help a lot of other people who have autoimmune disease, and this covers a large group of people. It's just simply my testimonial. I am not a medical doctor. I can only tell you my experience with the care of a medical doctor, and this is about my journey to find fasting as a cure to my autoimmune disease. It may not be yours, but it may be interesting for you to see how I got to a very significant cure. And this is my testimonial for Dr. GERSHFELD on water fast therapy for Polymalgia Rheumatica, also known as PMR. And the video you'll see here, it's 5 minutes and 40 seconds, is something he did completely, and I have his permission to post it here. And I think this will help you. I just want to give you a little more background that's not stated in there. So first of all, he describes it in his description. It says Polymalgia rheumatica gone after 10 days of water-only fasting and has stayed gone for 4.5 years. So that's my testimony. Fasting can facilitate the reversal or remission of many modern diseases like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, autoimmune disease, obesity, and more. So I have a type of autoimmune disease, so I can just give one example or a testimony to this. Fasting Escape is a doctor-supervised fasting program that guides you step by step through a rejuvenating and transformative fasting experience, all from the comfort of your home. So when I did it, we went over to a house he had rented, a very nice house, but actually he's made it more convenient in the post-COVID era. People can now do it in their homes. He can supervise it remotely, and you don't have to ever leave your home, which actually is probably better emotionally and in every which way. So you know your own house better than you do a stranger's house. So doing a fast, I think, is even easier than it was when I did it. And then he says, if you want to learn more, visit www.fastingescape.com. So we will get into this a little bit more now. I just want to tell you a little bit of background. This are my actual notes from the time period. I kept it in my Airtable database. September 14, 2018. It says I'm going to do 10 days of fasting and then a refeeding of 5 days. So I had this all planned out. So I didn't walk in there randomly. I studied this carefully. And how did I decide fasting would be a solution? I want to show you this. So I did some research and I found one case that was inconclusive involving a 67-year-old woman. But anyway, so I did research on it, and I had a lot of proof that fasting helps with autoimmune disease, and I understood I had autoimmune disease, but there's no studies on it. The last thing was 2007 from July 20th, and that wasn't very much to go on, but that's all I had. I mean, so what else do? You try whatever you can, right? So here's the video. I'm going to play it now for you, and I hope you enjoy it. And those of you who have this disease, PMR particularly, I recommend, well, I can't recommend anything. I'm not a doctor. I can just listen to what I have to say, what I went through, and the change that happened in my life, and you can decide whether you want to do it. But a medically supervised fast is not dangerous, so to most people, but you need permission from a doctor, and so I'm not telling you to do it on your own for sure. I recommend highly to have someone like Dr. GERSHFELD do it. He gave me a blood test first, checked that I could do it, and then let me do it. And so that's what you want. You want permission to do something that is going to put a strain on your body and all that, but the outcome can be amazing and life transforming. So here's the video. Well, I was living a high stress job. I'm an attorney. I do trials, and so maybe that partly contributed to whatever happened. I came down with this very severe arthritis, like as if I'd had arthritis for 10 years, in my hands and in my knees and in my ankles. And it was difficult walking. But the strangest thing is when it hit me, I wake up one morning, I was doing weights like at the gym 3 days earlier, and now I can't lift my arm to touch my face. I can't even tie the knot on my shirt to do my tie like I would in the morning. I tried setting up an appointment to see my physician, a doctor, and he was not available. And in fact, I think he then said, you really need to go see a rheumatologist. So I'll try to set one up for you. So there I am. So he's telling me it sounds like arthritis of some type. Later, it's diagnosed as what they call Polymalgia rheumatica, which is a fancy name of, we don't know what it is. It has symptoms identical to arthritis, but it's like your body's in overdrive, completely attacking itself. And he says, well, you're in a lot of pain. I said, yes, I'm in a lot of pain. And he says, I can guarantee you, if you take prednisone that I'm going to prescribe for you, that within 24 hours, all your pain will be gone. And I said, give it to me as soon as possible. So I did not realize that decision was not a good one. And you don't realize it when you start. So, but it felt great. 24 hours later, I had absolutely no pain at all. But I tried that. This is 1 year before I'm going to come to you. So I tried doing the prednisone way of doing things. And eventually, I don't know what was exactly the cause, but the doctor said it was the prednisone. But you got to make a choice. Either it's prednisone or you're going to be in pain. So what was happening is I couldn't walk, but 20 feet, and my heart was racing, and I had to stop. So like getting out of my car to go to my office took like 20 minutes just to get in the front door of the building. I had to stop, I had to get my heart rate back to normal. Then I could walk 10, 15 steps and my heart rate would be, I had a little Apple Watch. Maybe that's a bad thing, but I could see I've walked 20 feet and I'm at 145 heart rate, 155. What's going on? So I knew something was wrong, but nothing seemed to work. And I still had this terrible situation. So I said, I can't live like that. I mean, if you can't walk 10, 15 feet without your heart racing, it's like, you just can't imagine living like that way. And to me, what was key is I felt I could be braver and not just do a small little fast, but try to do a 10-day fast because I wanted to kill this thing, whatever it was. So you guys thought that was a good idea, and you would monitor and make sure I was watched. And so that's what we did. You monitored me. We did a blood test, if I recollect. And I can't say I was noticing any relief of the pain as it was all happening right away, but I did start to feel like some of it was dissipating by day 5, which was exciting. And then, I kept feeling like every day was getting better and better. I think I was nervous that 10 days would be like, is it going to be this impossible thing? I'm climbing a mountain, or is it going to be something where I reach a plateau and it's easy? And actually what it was is once you reach the 3rd day and you don't have hunger, you don't even know the days are passing. And it's actually kind of fun to get up and feel I don't even have to waste time eating. I can just start reading. I can watch a TV show, and food never even crosses your mind. Finished the 10 days, and then we did a 5-day refeeding, which was fantastic food. I'll never forget it. It was great stuff. Was the day I walked out of there and I didn't feel any pain. I was like, okay, is it going to come back? Like, is this just the 10 days or the 15 days and it's gone? But now, like the prednisone, can that wear off? Will it wear off? And here I am 4.5 years later, it's never ever come back even a little bit. So that was a transformational event. To be an attorney in the modern era, you've got to type all the time. And when I got to Polymalgia Rheumatica at first, that 8-day period where I'm waiting for the doctor, I'm like, I can't even touch the typewriter. So it's like so discomfortable and just not gonna work because I can't even lift my hand up. But now, since this, I've had 4.5 years of just regular typing and regular, use of my hands, my walking. And one of the reasons I postponed doing this interview is I didn't want to give this interview and then it comes back the next week. So I wanted to be sure it had stuck. But there's no other explanation than the fast for why I'm totally normal. So I just always look backwards and I go, wow, if I had not taken this step, my life would have been totally different. I'd be probably dead, number one, because you cannot live with that level of pain, I don't think. You'd say, all right, I'll go with the prednisone, even though I'm going to be dead in a few months. This is what it felt like. I mean, the heart attack was just waiting to happen. But how can you live with, complete agony? If you knew my story, you'd say, okay, let me try it for my arthritis. That would be my recommendation. I'm not a doctor. I'm just someone who experienced a miracle from following Dr. GERSHFELD's advice and direction and his help. I hope that you Dr. GERSHFELD, will, be able to use this with people who are suffering from arthritis and people who might have Polymalgia Rheumatica, which, as I said, is simply arthritis that they don't know what to call it, whatever it is, but it's the most extreme version of it. And that it will change your life if you give it a try. It just mechanically reset everything. All right. So I hope that helps everybody, particularly those who have arthritis, a very common affliction. and it is an autoimmune immune disease. Your body's immune cells are attacking your own joints, thinking they're foreign cells, essentially, and thinking it needs to destroy those joints because it's a foreign body inside your body. So your system is doing what it's supposed to do. It's just gotten its signals crossed. But for some reason, I don't know the science behind it. Maybe science doesn't know the science behind it, but a fast ends up killing the malfunctioning cells in your body first, because your body has to basically eat itself. It has to eat the bad cells first. It'll selectively pick the bad cells first, and that somehow gets rid of all those bad cells that were attacking me. That's the theory of it. And then those cells are gone, and they can't replicate because you spent enough time in a fast wiping them out, having your body eat them all. So you let your body heal itself is essentially what is maybe the correct theory of how this worked. Is that's what fasting is supposed to be doing. All right, God bless everybody. Take care. Ciao. Bye.